partnership's dead?
No.
Well, what have you?
Why would you ask that
question?
The hill that I'll absolutely down is that organic social is not a performance tool.
What do you like more? Because I've done both agency and client side.
To be honest, you look a bit icky.
The Jaguar rebrand. Have you seen the Jaguar one?
Who hasn't seen the Jaguar?
Oh my God. Do we think anything is real anymore? Ozempic, fast fashion, like advertising. How can you actually advertise real products?
And I do think it's important to note is PrettyLittleThing's rebrand.
Do you like it?
Already.
Nice to meet you, Phoebe. Welcome to Digital Cheesecake.
Thank you.
You looked really scared just then. I usually don't start because Jack usually does because he knows the full long intro. But before anything, obviously everyone hit follow. We kind of want you to tell us a little bit about your background and then we're going to dive into all kind of little different topics, fast fashion, everything. So maybe tell us where you're at.
Okay.
Your highlights in your career.
Yeah. Okay. I've spent close to 11, 12 years in-house and agency background. So I've worked for the likes of OK Cool, who are probably one of the biggest TikTok agencies currently in the world, all the way to, I know, subtle flex.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of their journey though. So I can't take any of their glory now, but all the way to Rise at 7, who are known as a creative PR agency, and then I've spent my time in house at places like Look Fantastic, Nasty Gal, and most recently in the Style. So very big cross section of different brands and opportunities.
What do you like more? Because I've done both agency and client side.
Oh, good question.
I love the pace of agency, but I like the commitment to brand.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it with
Thank
brands.
you.
Yeah.
What do you mean by commitment?
Yeah, let's unpack that.
Let's circle back to that.
Yeah.
So in an agency, as you'll know, you kind of get in there and you do your job and you move on and it's the next thing. And you don't have any of that time to really sort of come together and be like, we smashed that team.
Yeah.
And then we got the back,
Bask
really.
in the glory.
Yeah. And we'd be able to see what that did as a halo effect. You kind of walk away at that point, don't you? And go, okay, job done.
Don't leave Ruby, by the way.
Where
Yeah.
no, Ruby, it's great. It's great. Brands are rubbish.
Brands are rubbish. No, I'm kidding.
Rubbish.
It's good to have both.
It is good to have both. And also being able to understand what each one needs from the other.
Yeah.
So very often I've worked with agency people that have never been in a brand and it shows.
Yes,
and
does it?
equally
Oh my God, for
with
sure.
brand people that have never worked with an agency and it shows. So
Yeah.
I feel like I cover both those grounds quite well now because there's no brand really who wouldn't work with an agency
Yeah.
now. Especially de-risking that position from sort of April and all the tax rises, agencies are going to be more and more important. So
Those tax rises are coming round the corner.
Oh, you love that
I
topic?
count down. I'm
Pardon?
counting down.
I know, I am as well. We're talking about it, aren't we, all the time?
We're talking about it all the time because it's going to shave a lot
painful.
off
Yeah,
profits
yeah.
and things. So,
But what do you think? Do you think brands are going to go, oh, I know, I'm going to keep my internal staff? Or do you think that they're going to
They're
pivot?
going to dump the staff and keep the budgets.
Or you could go the other way,
Jesus
right?
Christ. Jack, you're the recruiter. That's awful.
But that one big
It's great for you, though.
one big beauty brand that we know of, they're keeping their budgets,
Yeah.
but they're just shedding all their retail staff because of the incoming NI changes. That's what they're doing.
Yes, I know who that is.
I feel like I know. I feel like I know who that is too. I'm not going to say it.
No, of course not.
No, I'm not going to get in trouble.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No.
don't do it, Jack,
You'll be
don't
fine,
do
Jack.
it.
You'll be fine. We don't see.
But then also, if you look at like the THG model, they keep everything in house. So actually, some brands will make that decision to say, no, any external agencies, third parties, freelancers off. We need to put every penny into our staff. But then I often think, well, what does that mean for the staff that are internal? No pay rises, no promotions. Do you think?
which people are feeling in the last year. No, that's why
That's
people are like
it's
leaving.
already started.
Yeah.
So where does that end?
Don't know. Yeah, tell us, Jack. When does
Jack, where does that end?
we
don't
have
know.
to see.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, we
TBC.
are getting loads of people increases. So everyone that we're getting,
the fact that you keep telling that kills me.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Because I hear from a lot of people that it's not
Except
you
for
get
one guy.
increases.
Except for one guy.
that poor
I
guy.
know two guys. There's a guy today that you placed at that sports business.
Congratulations.
So two guys.
Congratulations. That's good
So
to
two
celebrate.
guys, but it's all to do with location. So they're working more days from home, and then one's making a lifestyle change. But mostly, people that we're placing are getting increases everywhere. But it's everything below probably 100K. Whereas, actually, no, it's every single role. It's every single role. I don't know the answer to this because.
What?
The
But
data
people are,
basically
but
saying
people are
everyone's
obviously
getting an
taking
increase.
roles less as well, no? Or
Exactly,
you're
yeah.
saying no one's taking roles that are less? Because I thought that was the market.
Fractional. So I would say it's more down the fractional route.
At the lead.
So,
That's so
At the lead
interesting.
side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the guy.
Bloody hell, the poor fractional
we
people.
got a CMO guy role this week. He went from 115 to 150. No, 157.
He went to 150 to 150. Nice.
150 to 157.
Score.
Which is really good. And then everyone's
which
doing
is
the
massive,
same.
yeah.
It's just that I think there's just more redundancies happening. So people are saying,
Still, I don't want to hear that word.
Oh, especially in Manchester.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a city of redundancy right now.
She says it while she's smiling. I'm like, that sounds nice.
No. It's the permanent face. You know how some people have like a resting bitch face? I have one of those really awkward smiling faces.
nice.
No, but it's not always great. I sometimes would prefer the bitch face.
I want you to deliver me bad news.
Yeah.
Someone's
"No,
done.
deliver it with a smile."
Yeah.
Okay, wait, we need to go back to your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you worked in fast fashion as well a bit, which we always love that topic. I have this really random like quote that I wanted to ask, which is like, do we think anything is real anymore in the sense of like Ozempic, fast fashion, like advertising? How can you actually advertise real products kind of? Do you find it really hard?
To advertise fast fashion.
Yeah, not like fast fashion as a whole, but I mean just like, yeah, fast fashion actually. And then like the movement of Ozempic at the moment, like the whole point is like, you know, we're kind of being marketed to stuff that's like, is it authentic? Do we find that like we're just gravitating towards more?
Yeah.
Really
I totally
stuff.
agree. Yeah. Do you know what I think the problem is with Ozempic is that we've only just got to a place where women are only borderline accepting their bodies, right? And I've been in brands that champion that. You know, I've worked agency side with PLT, Boohoo, which sort of started that movement.
I love that. Yeah, true.
And then internally in the style, which was all about sort of loving your curves, loving your body, and really catering to that mid-size to curve market customer. And then do you know what was happening towards the end of my time at In the Style? I couldn't get a curve model anymore. Because all the curve
Is that
models...
because of Ozempic or?
Well, it's hard to say why, but what I will say is they all lost drastic amounts of weight.
Crazy.
Which meant that I couldn't get the representation even from a model standpoint. And I was
so confusing with this gut health movement, and then Ozempic just comes boom.
Which is
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
good for the gut
and
health
eradicates all the sort of movement that as women I feel like we took, and finally we're getting to a sort of place where we were happy and it was in, right?
Yeah.
And now we're like, no, even those that championing it are now actually in a size 8.
I just find it's crazy. I can't because it's like there's these two worlds at the moment that are like going for gut health, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but it's fine for you. But I'm like, it's got to be affecting your brain. Like
Yeah.
it has to
No,
be
100%.
Ozempic for sure.
But they're claiming Ozempic's good for gut health.
Well, no, they're
bad,
not. But I mean,
yeah.
like everyone's so obsessed with gut health, this whole thing at
Yeah.
the moment, and you've got kefir yogurts and everything, and then people are also then just taking Ozempic at the same time, and I'm like, that's obviously fucking you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
He's just cancelling it out.
This is like cancelling it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just all gonna die.
Yeah.
But I think it's anyway, I'm like shook by it. So anyway, my point
And
was
I know
kind
two
of like
people hospitalised by it.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Because as well, I think the pressure of working in fashion, particularly in any fashion, whether that's high fashion now or low fashion, is the fact that you're always comparing yourself, right, to others because there's always models around, you're working with influencers all the time. So everyone that I've kind of met over the last year, 2 of which have ended up in hospital because of the rapid weight loss because they're
food's
Yeah,
meant to be
that
good
would
for
make
you
sense.
to make you feel better.
and I know, and then, but it's an inhibitor, isn't it? It doesn't make you
Yeah.
hungry, so they're not eating, and it's kind of hard to sit around that.
But how can you? This is what my question is like. How do you market that? Obviously, you're not marketing that, but with fast fashion stuff,
Yeah, for
how
a
do you
start, I never
market?
would.
Never
Yeah,
would. Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you in previously when you were in like fast fashion? Let's say Nasty Gal. Is it nasty or nasty?
Well, to you, it'd be nasty, wouldn't it? But to me,
Why? Because me as a person or Australian, I'm like Jesus.
You're a
Christ,
posh
okay, just met
nasty.
you. Okay.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah.
to our posh nasty gals, they were nasty gals. But it's very much nasty.
I love the brand. I mean, I've loved
Yeah.
the brand. I was
Yeah.
always buying because I love sequins and whatever. So
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like, every hen's party, I would be like, nasty gal for sure. So how is that when like there's a bit of like against the fast fashion? How do you kind of like get through
But
that?
we weren't there.
Yeah,
So when
okay.
I was at Nasty Gal, there was no sort of any movement against fast fashion. It was accessible fashion. Boohoo were in their prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just bought Nasty Gal from Sophia Amoruso in LA. It was still very much that brand. We did a lot of vintage, so that almost offset a lot of the things we were
cool.
doing.
Interesting.
There was like an end of life cycle recycling scheme as well. So whilst yes, okay, is it as sort of sustainable in practice as all right, Patagonia? Absolutely not. To put it,
I'm not going to shop there.
lightly.
No offense. I'm not. We're going to Patagonia.
No.
Why's that?
I mean, I wear purely.
Oh, that's
pink
true,
if you
yeah,
get got
Yeah,
pink.
exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Weirdly, I don't think they do that colour.
I don't think so. No gingham. Anyway.
But but it wasn't frowned upon. It was accessible. It was being able to get the latest fashion trends at a fraction of the price. And that was seen as a good thing, right? Because it was a time where the only thing close on the market was Topshop, and Topshop was pretty unaffordable. R.I.P. Love.
Yeah.
Oxford Street. So
But I don't know about you, but growing up, like if I could afford Topshop, I had a great week at work.
yes,
Yeah,
true.
that's a good point.
I did extra hours to get those Molly jeans. Like that wasn't.
We used to fly over from Australia and everyone would go to this Topshop in summer.
Yeah,
Really?
Oh, it's
one
such a
in
big
London.
deal. And then
Yeah,
when
it
it
was
shut,
a
it
big
was
deal.
just
Yeah,
devastating.
it is, and it's an IKEA now. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's been building an IKEA for like 3 years.
Oh, yeah,
I don't even think
true.
it's open.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's not open yet.
no, I don't think
No.
so, no.
no.
Anyway, carry on.
But that's what I mean. It was about being accessible rather than
Yeah.
this fast fashion we hate and it's ruining the world. It was
Yeah,
never
and
really
it
about
wasn't
that.
frowned upon for people. So, like, accessibility shouldn't be frowned upon.
Yeah,
I
agree.
do think businesses need to do more in their practices,
Yes.
especially now, because we're going back. When I was at Nasty Gal, we're talking 7 years ago, 6 years ago. We've moved 6 years on from that. So what can we be doing? So, like, In The Style is considered a fast fashion brand, but in fairness to them, they had insanely intricate factory reports. They wouldn't work with factories that had any slave labor or didn't fair pay. And
so hard for
but you
businesses
get
to grow with all of
sort
that.
of chucked into the same bucket with everyone else.
So
that
it's a lot of
considered
hate,
fast
isn't
fashion.
it? Like
Oh,
straight
a
away
lot.
versus like, oh, actually you're heading in the right direction. It's just hate, instant.
But what's interesting, and I do think is important to note, is PrettyLittleThing's rebrand.
Do you like it?
Oh, there's so
Controversial.
much controversial stuff
I just
around
don't
it.
think they've moved on in the right way. So, you know, we're talking a business that's making a tremendous loss, but their orders is about 19.1 million still for the year. So actually the demand is fine.
Okay.
But what's the difference is they've had to sort of be a race to the bottom with promotion, right? So for me, this rebrand, what it's done is it hasn't actually rectified the issue. They haven't listened to the customer and gone, what does my customer now want from me? Which is better quality outfits.
Yeah.
If you just use social listening, you'll see people are calling for better fit, accessibility upon sizing.
I love
better
those TikTok
return.
videos of those people buying the product and then
And they're
it's
just like-
literally
like a
just
rag or
worst fit
something.
ever.
Yeah.
They are fabulous.
Love it.
I love
Are
it.
you watching female videos? Of
I
just
get into the
people changing?
algorithm and
Yeah.
it's really funny.
I'm learning so much about Jack.
I know. Me too. Every episode.
That's funny.
But it's true, right? So like that for me is you could have done a lot more there. You should be rectifying the issue at the heart of the brand, which wasn't the logo.
Yeah.
It wasn't the imagery. No one cared that it was pink with a unicorn, which let's be honest, they stole from Misguided. No one cared about that. But they're now entered an even more saturated marketplace. They're entering against competitors now like Forth and Reckless, which do put more into their sustainability practices.
But you're getting people like Oddmuse calling them out, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I didn't-
We love
I
a bit of
missed that.
Amy.
Yeah. But she's not bothered. She'll call them out every day.
Yeah, because she's thinking,
Yeah.
why are you now entering my aesthetic marketplace when you're not delivering the quality that I'm
Yeah, it's
delivering?
tough.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair, which is the reason why she started in the first place, right? Because she saw the same thing happening at ASOS. But I think we're in a world now where people are just happy to call each other out.
Yeah.
That, you know, maybe Umar on stage with Stephen Bartlett and a Kleenex tissue isn't enough. I don't know.
Another Stephen Bartlett drop. We've got to beep him out.
I mean,
Interesting.
No, we
Did
should need
that
to do a
work?
drinking game, don't we?
Did that work? That
No
video
way.
with Umar?
did it work for you?
No. It was well, not authentic, was it?
Do you know what I would do if I was Kleenex? I would have put out a reactive
Yeah,
post
that
with
was- yeah.
with Umar being
Oh,
at the face of the brand. That would be funny.
You know who
as
would have
hell.
done that? Monzo. They're so reactive with good stuff. I think.
Yeah.
Monzo.
Yeah.
Anything
Do you
like
bang
that.
with that? No.
No, of course I bank with Monzo, but they're just hilarious.
They are brilliant. They
Yeah,
are brilliant.
yeah.
at
Honestly, they
reacting.
post about nothing. They just said this is a post about nothing this week. And I'm like, I loved it.
Do you
And
like
it got loads of clicks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, not clicks. It's like 50, 70,000 people just like the
know.
post.
What?
It's hilarious.
But do you like posts like that? Like, do you think that's sort of like really?
I think this, I don't know what the
would
strategy
help?
is.
It depends exactly. What's the
Okay.
strategy?
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
trying to get out of it? Are you a brand that can do that? Should every brand do that? No.
No.
Is there value in some brands doing it? Yes. But as soon as everyone does it, we move on. Right? Have you not found that at the minute?
Yeah.
Everyone's copying each other and now it's boring.
Yeah.
It's like Sisters and Seekers were the first with
They're
sort
cool.
of
I like their
They're
social
doing a
team.
lot.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh
He
my God,
loves
brilliant.
Sheer Luxo.
I love Sheila.
Sheila.
But Sister and
obsessed.
Seekers, the social team there are just putting out volume.
Yeah,
Like,
lots.
Volume.
But it is about volume at the moment.
And to think of so
Oh,
many
quality
creative
people.
ideas.
It's
Oh, yeah.
quality.
Really
Come
good.
on.
But I think it's high. It's not high quality. It's high effort.
Yes,
And
correct.
that's-
Thank you. Don't say volume. It kills me because marketing teams are already drowning. And they're like,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
not more volume.
But it is volume though. It is. There's a lot
It's
going
high
on.
effort.
High effort.
It's very high effort.
High
I
effort,
think that's where we had really high quality, slick fashion film-esque, moved to very lo-fi consumer, girl in front of the mirror. We're now moving on to, okay, the quality isn't what it was in, let's say, fashion film days, but the effort is. It's scripted, it's thought through, the transitions are tight, the editing's strong, but it can still be done on an iPhone. And I think that's the biggest content transition right now.
That's what's causing, I think, the volume too, is like you can literally just take it on your
Take
phone.
it anywhere.
That helps.
Does
Bit
help.
of cap cut helps.
Oh,
A quick edit.
Honestly, it
So what
kills
would
me.
you say? What trends here to stay at the moment? And which
He
ones
loves
you
the
think
word
is,
trends.
He loves the
is
trends.
literally just
We love
noise?
it.
Do you know what? I think brands have to be really careful with trends, because if the trend
Totally.
isn't coming from their own
They
data,
change weekly, don't they?
yeah, you're buying into a fad that means nothing for your business and nothing for your
Correct.
positioning. So you need to be careful with, oh God, there's that trend in sound, let's hop on it, which everyone sort of on a C-suite level now thinks that you have to do in marketing. But actually, I think the value of a person is going, that doesn't fit us. Like that Monzo, that would never fit a sort of fast fashion brand, because
No.
why would it?
Yeah.
But actually, just make sure that you're only in areas where you should be playing and that consumers find value from it. Because otherwise, to be honest, you look a bit icky.
Yeah, the word icky. The word
I
icky
love
is
it.
never
You
getting
do.
rid of it. It's in our personal life. It's in our professional life. I'm like,
Yeah.
But Gen Zs are the first to call you out going, don't like that.
yeah.
You can
Can
get
see straight
cancelled in
through it.
5 seconds on social media now, right? Because
Bloody
it's,
tough.
it's their playground.
Yeah.
It is tough.
I feel like that's why Facebook Meta brought out trial reels. You probably
showing
don't
your
know
age
much
on
about
trial
it.
reels.
Trial reels.
Trial reels are like you can post without your audience seeing anything, pretty much.
Oh.
If I tell you this, you'll want to post it
Okay.
on Digital Cheesecake all the time. But
Oh,
people are
really?
obsessed with it because you can like post on trial reels,
Oh, that's
and it
cool.
doesn't like have to show to your current audience. You can just see how it performs.
Oh,
It's like going to be around for a bit and maybe disappear. So everyone's like obsessed with getting on it at the moment.
Yeah.
So Jack, you could just post all these nudes that you've got of yourself if you want.
They're just for my eyes.
Nudes and Cocoa Pops.
Yeah.
It's like the worst image ever.
Oh, but I think
I'm not gonna think
that's
about
a
it.
really good point in terms of like I
Nudes,
suppose
sorry.
not news, but brand storytelling, and how do you kind of balance that pressure to deliver the brand storytelling side versus revenue and the KPIs?
Yeah, serious question.
I know. I was like, let's talk to the CEO.
So first of all, it's really important to know what channel does what. The first thing I do when I go in, whether that's agency side or go for a new opportunity, is like look at their marketing mix and make very clear with the powers that be, whether that is the further management team or the C-suite, that what marketing channel should do what, because effectively they all have a role to play in, dare I say it, the funnel that most people don't think exists anymore. But I do think the funnel exists in the way of it should match the consumer journey. The consumer journey has changed, but there's still a level of sort of attributing channels back to that stage in the journey, which you could call a funnel, which is what it was. But I do think that the buy-in is the most important thing. You have to have buy-in. So, for example, a hill that I'll absolutely die on is that organic social is not a performance tool. It is part of a brand building. It is proposition building, but it's overly measurable by people. We're taking the joy out of it by trying to get a ROAS on a channel that isn't ever and was never built
should be.
for it. It's called
Yeah.
organic. It's called
I know
social.
it's called organic. Yeah, that's tough.
It's social, you know, and it's like the second you take that element away and make it another sales channel,
Got to be brand stuff for sure.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. And then that will make you more efficient across your performance channels, like your Google and your last click, sort of more attribution level channels. But without that, you're not even working efficiently. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice in the short term and the long term by making organic social
Great
be
answer.
overly measurable. Is that
It's a great
you on
answer.
board with that?
Yeah.
Really
You're on
good.
board with that one?
Yeah.
Would you say social's underfunded in most legacy businesses or businesses nowadays, or do you think it's properly?
We've seen a
funded?
big shift though there, right? Like we've seen a massive shift. Any sort of brand that sort of feels like they've come out of the woodwork. Why? Because you've seen them on social, right? Like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
consistency, because you're
Such
adding
convincing
all,
though, no? You've got to like convince the entire stakeholders and stuff, and everyone's watching social,
That's
and
so
you're just
important.
like,
Yeah.
it's not just one person reviewing it, it's like, 20 people plus the CEO.
I just don't think I could last in those businesses though. I've like purposely made sure my career isn't in businesses like that. Like, I mean, you only have to talk to me for like 5 minutes to know that I would last 0 seconds in corporate. But that idea of having such a slow sign-off process, it just goes against everything that I
You just can't
understand
do
about
anything.
brand.
Yeah, you
no.
just can't. Yeah.
And you see it, right? It's like, here's one. So Dyson. Loads of people love Dyson as a brand. Are they good at social? No. But
I think so.
no, I don't, because I think it's
They're led by the
trying.
product
They could have
quality.
been an amazing. That could have been
They
an
do a lot of
amazing journey and
influencers.
story.
Yeah.
They could have been, but they've really they're an amazing product.
Amazing.
I'm also saying for Samsung, no, like they actually do insane vacuum cleaners, but they don't do.
Do
like,
they?
Yeah, dude. They're like the best. I mean, this
I
is
thought
like
just
you
Vax
either
and
get it's like
Dyson.
Apple and Samsung shit, but the vacuum, like I got,
amazing.
I asked my my husband's brother, who's like very techie, and he's like always Samsung, and he was like, get the Samsung vacuum cleaner,
Okay,
unreal.
didn't know
But like you'll just never know that shit with them because they're just always playing the safe bet with
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
They could do such cool stuff.
They do
Yeah.
a lot of
You know?
influencer stuff, don't they?
But they do obvious influencers.
corporate
It's just
stuff.
corporate influencers.
You
It's
can't
like,
like test cool shit.
exactly. Oh, she's got 1 million followers. We'll go and work with her then.
Right, okay.
You know, it's obvious people. It's not people that you go, God, that's a really interesting one. Like, go work with scientists. All you talk about is how science-led you are. Go and do something interesting with them then.
Yeah.
Or do a scheme with scientists or at the beginning of their careers, but they don't talk about anything beyond
crazy.
product, right?
Yeah. They're
Like,
not
why am
gonna
I buying
change.
into you? Yeah. And so you're going to see brands eat part of their market share up because I'm thinking to myself, do I want to justify spending £500 on a curler?
It's interesting. Does Apple just like, how do we all still like when we see the Apple ads and all that stuff come out? Do we feel they're ever going to change though? Like, is it going to be the same?
They don't need to change.
Yeah, like in 20 years.
I think by the time it's so producty that sometimes I don't even watch it anymore, the videos that come out. I love the creative teams that, I mean, I know some people that work there and they're like, you know, it's amazing the whole process. But now we're like, there's so much cool stuff happening that makes you laugh. I don't laugh at anything Apple when it comes out.
I
No,
don't laugh anymore.
That'd be weird if you did.
Is
Maybe
it
like-
supposed to be funny?
But it could, but like you just are so used to content being like that.
Exactly.
And you want to be impressed by a brand. So you're like, now I'm so impressed by them. I want to like consider
So
looking
saying
into
that,
them.
who's impressing us at the moment, guys? Like, which brands are impressing us?
From what perspective?
Oh no, that's just changed my question.
What
just
about, like, the
I'd say
what about like the
branding.
Jaguar rebrand? Have you seen the
Yeah.
Jaguar one? What do you think about that?
Who hasn't seen the Jaguar?
Oh my God.
Don't think
I can't even like fathom. It confuses me that it's like a fashion brand now. And the poor car, the history of the car.
I just think, why have you matched to a younger consumer who can't afford an £100
know.
Jag?
Yeah,
It
that's
just
fair.
is so out of kilter with young people
But
today.
this is
and their
kind of like
affordability.
Soho House when they like tried to go for the younger audience, but they can't afford Soho House.
But that's why Soho
So now
House
it's
has never been
empty.
a profit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And everyone was stealing all their cutlery and glasses and stuff. And like,
Oh,
that's
cups.
where they
That I
lost.
did
Did-
not
Their
did
know.
cups.
you?
No, but I was
You know
like,
what
I
I
want to
used
get
to
onto
do?
this. What did you do?
Take packets and packets of sweets home. You
They
know,
have
this-
sweets?
Where are
I
the
love
sweets?
you know in Shoreditch House, before you get into the back room, there's a pick and mix station.
Oh, is there?
What? I live near there, and there's a freaking pick and mix.
Yeah. Well, half of it's at my house.
Yeah, I know. I know some people that just take the magazines and stuff, and they're like, "Cool, it's perfect for my house." I'm like,
Where are we going?
they just shouldn't be investing in like they invest so much in their furniture and their
Well, they've
glassware.
invested
They've
in
got
that
good stuff there.
Soho Skin range.
Oh,
Yes.
all
That
right.
cowshed. Oh no, they sold.
No, R.I.P. They're trying to improve anyway.
yeah.
Sorry, Soho House. I really feel for them because I like it as a workspace. It's great, but
So
they're not
in
making it.
terms of like brand, what are you thinking? Like, you know, just brand or what?
I can't remember my question now. What was the
Your
question?
question
what
was like,
brands
what
are you
brands are
loving?
impressing you?
Yeah, just in terms of like the marketing campaigns from a social perspective, like who's kicking ass at the moment.
Ooh. Do you know who I find really interesting? And there's not even a brand yet. Have you seen that Salt brand?
Oh,
What's Salt?
Salt.
what do
So
they do?
it's a duo who is launching a product, and they've basically taken to TikTok to involve their consumers along the way.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's electrolytes.
Oh.
It's so
yes.
interesting how they've brought. It's not even launched yet, and it's already my favorite brand. Do you know who I loved at the
I'm looking
beginning
at it
as
later.
well? Surreal, but do you know what?
heard of Surreal.
I almost feel like they're doing too much now.
Surreal
Do you
do?
find that there's a balance between?
Oh, it's so hard. But it can also be
Brilliant.
changing different people's roles.
Too much.
Like when someone goes and takes over the social, you're like, I've seen this.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
someone
can you
else.
actually tell the difference?
Oh, you can tell when something changes.
Yeah.
I can
Social.
tell when
Yeah.
a new agency's gone on. And do you know what?
Oh.
9 times out of 10, we should play a game of this. Which agency?
I don't know if I'll know that.
I love that.
That game.
I could do that.
Yeah. When you know your agencies, right, you're going to know, yeah, I know Uncommon's done that. Yeah, I know Rise has done that. Yeah, because they follow their own set sort of
Rules.
framework.
Interesting.
And as an agency person, you know instinctively, yeah, I know who's come up with that.
Yeah.
What was it like working at Rise?
Yeah.
They've done some
Done lots.
really good growth over
Yeah,
the years.
yeah, really good. I went in to sort of spearhead brand teams. They never did
Yeah.
brand, so we did campaigns, and then I also launched a content creation team.
Cool.
That basically all day long they just create content. different intros, different hooks, different outros. We tested it on paid media and saw how that stacked up against influencer marketing.
What was better?
Most often it was the content creation.
Wait, you mean like the paid side, or mean like?
Yeah, as in us creating the content, putting paid behind it, did better reach and better conversion than the influencer.
That's what we said with someone before as well. Yeah. Someone on the podcast before was just like this whole, they've lost a bit from doing the influencers and brand piece, and they're moving away from it a bit.
Yeah, but then the difference, I suppose, is you haven't got the long-term buy-in. Of an influencer's followers that you do with your own in-house creative. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, right? And you can create stories and change it and whatever. And
whereas there gets a point where the only people talking about you is you. And actually the best marketing strategy is everyone else talking about you. Right? Yeah. Because, if you say to me, I bought this thing, I love it. And I'm like, where did you get it from? And you're telling me that, right? It's the same as kind of an influencer content creator.
Social. It's like the WhatsApp groups, like silent social. And
Selfish plug there. WhatsApp groups that we create that are so good.
Invite only. But it is, they are saying that it's almost powerful, that kind of silent social side of things.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting, the brands that aren't investing at all in their own channels, but instead put everything into their influencer strategy. Like Nike's not posted on Facebook since I can't remember. I think it was Federer winning Wimbledon in Nike one year. I'm pretty sure it's that
was a while ago then.
2015, 2016.
Sorry.
God, that was it. Yeah, that was.
I was really bored.
I really tried to plug that there.
I was
work out.
I was like to say.
Fail. Wait, I have a few questions because we've actually been chatting for a while because there's so many things to talk about. Wait, Mob, by the way, I wanted to do a plug on Mob. Do you know Mob? M-O-B?
No.
Guys, you need to follow them. They have built the most insane community on social, as well as their channel. I don't know why I'm okay. You need to look at that later.
Yeah,
what's the point? That was back to your question about building a community piece. Their channel, how there's Instagram channels and some of them are a total flop, and you get randomly it looks like you're either DM'd or you're in a channel.
Oh, broadcast channels.
Broadcast channel.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
What about broadcast channels? Sometimes I hate them, sometimes I love them.
Yeah. This one, Mob, is a full recipes, most amazing. You pay £30 for the year and they're all individual chefs and you get the best recipes. I pay and
I love
unreal recipes, but they're the best food ever. Some of my favorites.
You pay for that broadcast channel?
No, I pay for the actual subscription to the recipes, right? And they're some of the best ever that I get. And it's all UGC content and you see the chef and so you make it that night. It's unreal. Anyway, they've created a broadcast channel and some of the chat they just put in there is absolutely hilarious. And so you're all you're with 100,000 people. But, there's someone on the weekend that's had a big night out that works in the team and they might post something about had a massive night out. What do we think about that? And I just think...
I wish I was there.
I love that. But I just that shit I just love. I'm never going to leave that broadcast channel.
That's cool.
How long until it's monetized, do you reckon? Because that'll be next.
Well,
it'll be like Patreon.
They're doing now the cookbooks. Patreon.
It'll be like Patreon, but...
You know what? There's been some really... Your face. He's obsessed with Patreon over here.
Yeah?
I like
want to know more
Substack.
about Patreon.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well,
I like Substack. I'm so close to paying for Substack.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the articles.
Substack.
And then I find a sneaky way to get the article. And I'm like, okay.
I know how to do that too.
Yeah. So bad. Wait, my actual question was, are brand partnerships dead?
No.
One of you guys
Why would you
ask that question? One of you guys told me to ask that question.
Are brand partnerships dead? Brand partnerships are evolving.
Okay.
So we know what's really interesting is that we're in a world now where, when I grew up, the reason I wanted to go into marketing was because I was absolutely transfixed by Nike. I thought they were the best thing since sliced bread. I loved it. Have you watched Air, the film?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yes.
Great
we
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah,
Unreal. I was sat there
I
like
should
that.
watch it again. It's so good.
A good movie.
It's underrated. No one really talks about it.
No one talks about it.
Such a good movie.
I think we watched it twice in 1 week.
We did,
It was
yeah.
really
That's
good.
a bit
Yeah.
weird.
Maybe not in 1 week.
It made me
but-
feel cozy the second time.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah, that's
I knew
weird.
what was going on, so.
I love that. They're all, keep going.
But
though.
that's so interesting, right? Whereas now, Nike have had to partner with Skims to be more relevant.
And they've
And
also-
Nike Skims
What do we
is
think about
born.
that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's wild?
I'm not sure about it.
I don't feel like I've been on the planet long enough for Skims to be more impressive than Nike.
No.
No, and she did that. You saw how she did that real life version of her in the middle of
Oh yeah, I
didn't see
I got a bit of hate on LinkedIn for that one because I said she looked like a sex doll.
Oh, but you I love
kind of
that for
response
you.
did it?
I need to follow you because I agree.
I got a lot
I
of
reckon
laughter
some guys
and a
would be
lot
up
of
underneath it.
You wouldn't say this about a man. I bloody would.
Yeah.
I bloody would. It had nothing to do. She's just promoting her
God,
swim
hate and
range.
love
Yeah,
that.
classic. I'm quite controversial on LinkedIn.
I'm going to go into that.
I just, you wouldn't have said that if it was a man. If it looked like a blow-up doll like Kim did, yes, I would. And also,
Would ya?
that's unrealistic. Going back to the Ozempic point, what unrealistic body standards is that promoting?
Yeah, but some people, there's a lot of women out there that are doing the injecting in the,
Yeah,
it's insane.
but hang on a minute, Kim's sort of lost half her body weight.
Yeah.
And now she's a blow-up sex doll in Times Square.
I agree.
I just
Oh my
don't
God,
find
it shook me. I need to see your LinkedIn post because I was like, this is weird.
It was definitely mixed.
Because Skims did something with another brand that was really controversial as well. Because
I'm not
didn't
sure
the
about
fans
the
was it
Nike,
was it Patagonia?
North Face.
North Face.
Okay.
And I think
They sold out.
Yeah, they
What?
said
In like
that
15
wasn't the
minutes.
right thing. Ah.
They did a partnership.
A partnership, and they
With
sold out of the
Skims.
products within 15 minutes.
But a lot of kind of diehard North Face fans sort of said,
Well,
why are
how's
we,
this?
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why are
Yeah.
we going down that
It almost felt like if Patagonia were going to do
I just
it.
think Nike
It's
is
just
so
wrong.
prestigious. I just
Yeah.
don't know about Skims.
But right, it's not boundary defining. You're taking two brands that already own their own areas, right? Nike from like an athletics perspective, sort of top of the game. They've got every single go in the game. And then you've got Skims who are probably on the biggest in terms of a popular culture influencer face brand. What is boundary defining about those two coming together? That's not interesting to me.
No, it's
at
not.
all.
It's not telling a story.
Nothing. So for me, I'm not
her,
interested.
I'm like, yeah, no.
I'm not interested.
Same.
You know, whereas actually if you take two brands that are incredibly, and do not put me on the spot and go, well, who?
Yeah.
But
well, who now? Obviously.
that's interesting. Like, here's an interesting one for you. Oreo. Every single year,
That's what I was going to say.
bring out a disgusting flavour. Right? Okay.
I
Disgusting.
thought you were going to say something nicer, actually.
No, no.
I didn't know that.
But this is genius in my opinion.
What flavours?
So, it's been like, there's been a green one, which I'm pretty sure was in
Matcha.
Matcha.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like slime. But they're not doing that because someone's going, oh, delicious. I'm desperate for a matcha Oreo. They're doing it because you think, a matcha Oreo.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I love the original Oreos. I'll pick one of those up.
Oh, that's a good
So they're
point.
actually using marketing a product to make you remember how much you love the real product. It's like,
I love
stalkers.
that. You should work there. I reckon. Do you think they know that they're doing that?
I think so.
I hope
Yeah.
I think so. I don't think I've come up with that myself. I'd like to imagine I had. But I always think about that. It's like you're using valuable shelf space in a retail to stand out, but then actually to remind people, oh yeah, I love the original. Because if you look at their order values, it's way different. So you're actually betting on buying the original. They're never betting on you buying. And actually the cost of that marketing channel is just the cost of that disgusting flavouring goods.
Oh, you kind of make me want to try it.
Should we get some Oreos later?
No, matcha flavour.
Oh, matcha
matcha
flavours. I did see
flavour, order
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to do our 60-second Spitfire?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sorry, I look so
Let's do
serious
it.
right now.
Yeah, or do I want to ask?
Oh, yeah, you can ask whatever you want.
I've
do
got-
I want
just
to ask?
Yeah, no, because we have spoken a little bit about your journey, and I did want to bring up a point as well because I know, yes. So rumor has it that you've recently left in the style.
Da-da-da.
Yes, I know there's
Sorry, that was really
there's
good.
been kind of a lot there, and you've sort of left in solidarity with a lot of the staff and the things that have been happening there.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you?
What's next for me? So I've actually gone fractional.
Oi! We love that word.
I love fractional work.
Yeah,
it's like the
buzzword.
best. It's like in the middle of brand and agency. You know when you're like, which one do you prefer? Now I get
Yeah.
to be kind of both.
Yeah.
So I'm working with some high growth brands, which is probably my favorite thing to do.
Okay, nice.
You learn a lot from a distressed business, but it's not sexy and the morale's really low. And I'm really looking forward.
You're selling
It
selling
is.
that one.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree.
you know, you anyone who enters Boohoo right now, etc., you have to be braced for the fact that people there are really uncertain about their futures.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas I'm really excited to join brands like, have you heard of Hairburst?
I've heard of
Yes.
Hairburst.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're a hair growth supplement brand,
Nice.
who are on a journey to do 50 million. They're currently sat around the 20 million mark.
Do you take it? Because your hair looks really nice.
I do not take it. My hair.
Will.
I don't know how much more hair I could actually have on this
You've
hair.
actually, yeah, you're lucky.
I
Nice
am
hair.
so blessed with my hair. I even said that to them. It's like, it would be false advertising if I said yeah, and I'm not about that.
Yeah, be true.
Yeah.
They haven't paid me enough for that. I'm joking.
Yeah.
And then I'm not, watch this and be like, and then I'm working with a jewelry brand called Prior. Again, like a Manchester-based brand. Again, sort of on that journey to do 30 million, doing about 10 at the minute. So I love that. I love that sweet spot.
I love that.
I love the sweet spot because the UK is tremendously difficult to grow a brand right now, and these brands are against all odds are actually profitable, and I think that's insane, you know. And then lastly, I'm going to do some work with Glamify, who is the founder of Miss Pap, who started his second venture, and super excitingly, loads of on the ground, on demand stuff. So he does embroidery in house, and it's all about the execution of that. And again, it's just working with these smaller base brands that are hyper profitable, but looking for that next phase of growth. And they're all completely solo owned, and that is fabulous. Like being in a business which is a PLC, all the way to being in just a shareholder or a PE-backed business. There is nothing greater than working with founders.
I love it. Yeah,
just
to connect with you because it'd be great with lots of clients.
And you just go straight there and you make a decision, don't they, on the spot, founders? Whereas, you know, as you kind of said, there's 10 rounds of sign off. There's none of that. I need to be in an environment away from that. Yeah, and then I'm hoping that potentially along the way, something might come up. But if it doesn't, I'm loving it. I genuinely love it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So do you think you have a preference with founder led or big business? Because you've been working at so many different brands. Big brands.
I prefer smaller business. I prefer small business.
People have been saying that.
Yeah. I love an SME. I think as well being part of that journey is incredible. You know, to a different brand making 12 million, not 10 million is monumental. Yeah. And it's that part of the journey that I really get the kicks from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, I've taken that decision.
I like that.
Yeah, that is the journey. I think people.
We're gonna put that as a hook.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut that up into content.
Cut it.
So good.
Quick fire questions.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
When we say quick fire, some people take these like as a long question. You got to answer straight away, and we move to the next one.
Gut fit.
Is it like cats or dogs?
Yeah, kind of. Okay. So tools you would use. Number one tool that you would always use.
Google Trends.
Okay. What tool you would get rid of straight away?
Oh no, I don't.
Love that. So many.
There's so many to get rid of.
Martech's just insane.
What tool would I get rid of straight away? Iconosquare.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Best market to enter into outside of the UK?
Russia.
Ooh.
Hungary, Russia, those areas.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
How do you entertain your team when you do something socially? Do you take them out for? Is there anything like what's the best one you've ever done?
Well, I'm not a massive drinker.
Oh.
So I'm not.
Good on you.
Yeah, thank you. So I love to do anything that's like, I love a rage room.
Wow.
Ooh,
that I would not have expected that.
I've seen that
I
with
do.
like bashing
Because it's okay to not be okay.
It stresses me out. I don't know if I could do
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, because I'll be like,
get out there, I'm like,
backstage
yes.
or something.
You mean like the one where you have to get out?
No.
What's the rage room?
You go in and you smash it up.
Oh, I'm right into that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You
I
have
was
to
going to
wear
say, your
goggles.
energy is giving
No,
that you'd be
sorry.
good
I
at
thought it was
rage
like you've got to like unlock things to get out, like those
Oh, no,
mazes.
love those.
No.
I was like, I don't think you're a bit of a nerd, but it's okay. Oh, rage. Yeah. I'm into
Yeah,
that.
rage.
Sorry. That's me.
I think you
I'm
might
into
like
rage.
that. Yeah.
Rage
Okay,
room.
great. I love that.
Thank you.
I don't know where
You should
those
come
are.
sometime.
Yeah, I will. I didn't know you could do that in London. Like in London, I'm gonna
Definitely
find
do
it.
it in
Yeah,
Manchester,
Manchester.
probably. Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Just a
cool.
classic pub, really.
Smash it up. Okay, Jack, go.
So next one, what's the most important trend in digital marketing right now?
ECG.
ECG.
Oh, yes.
Love that.
What's the biggest challenge in digital marketing today?
Being authentic to your brand and not trying to go onto every single fad.
How do you keep up with the ever-changing digital landscape?
I don't know if you can.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Totally.
So make sure that you're on the journey that makes sense. And the other thing is make sure the unit economics stack up, because it's so easy to quickly pivot from high growth to non-profitable.
Oh. Okay, that's
What's one mistake most brands make in their marketing strategy at the moment?
Oh, trying to make every single channel a performance channel.
Great
If
answer.
you had to pick only one platform to market on, which one would it be?
TikTok.
TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Long form content or short form content?
Both.
If you had to choose one.
No, I don't want to choose one.
No choosing.
There's
Absolutely not.
Both play such a pivotal role.
Influencer marketing, hit or miss?
Oh, hit.
What's the most underrated marketing channel at the moment?
Affiliates.
Oh.
I love an
Next one.
affiliate.
Do you secretly stalk your competitors' ads to see if they're better than yours?
No, because I never look at the same competitor group. I always look in a different market.
Nice.
Love that.
There's nothing to be ventured by or gained by
Copy
looking
it,
sideways
Oh, I like
or
that.
backwards.
Oh, I like that.
I always look at a totally different industry and I think what's interesting going on over there.
Good answer.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's the best answer we've had for that question.
I like it.
That was very good.
Everyone says, yes, we look at competitors.
Yeah. Of course we do.
Come on, Jack.
Of course we do.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for being on the podcast. It was awesome.
Oh, I loved it. Thank you so much.
That was